What's up guys, Sal here. So we're just less than a couple of weeks away from the Unpacked event where Samsung will unveil their new foldable phones. But the Galaxy S23 Ultra, despite being 6 months away from getting official, continues to steal some of the spotlights. A few days ago, there was a report from Ming-Chi Kuo, a famous Apple analyst, that for the Galaxy S23, Samsung has decided to skip the Exynos chipset and instead will go all in with Snapdragon SoCs. But you see, even though the news was coming from a reputed analyst, it was still a rumor, and the thing with rumors is that they're not set in stones. That will no longer be the case because Qualcomm has officially confirmed that Samsung will use the Snapdragon chip worldwide for the Galaxy S23 lineup. Qualcomm and Samsung have signed a new deal extending their partnership to 2030. And as per the deal, Snapdragon chipsets will now be used in far more Samsung products than ever before, including their laptops, tablets, wearables, and more. But what's interesting is that the CEO of Qualcomm said in a Q&A session that about 70% of Galaxy S22 units come equipped with Snapdragon chips, but that number will go much higher with the Galaxy S23 and beyond. He further said that Qualcomm will be powering Samsung devices globally, which pretty much confirms that Samsung will only use one chipset on the Galaxy S23, and Exynos regions couldn't be more happier. So does this mean it's the end of Exynos? Well, Samsung says no. If you remember, Samsung is resurrecting their chipset division by making custom chipsets specifically for Galaxy phones, similar to Apple with their A-series chipsets. In fact, Samsung has even hired an ex-Apple engineer who was a major player in the development of Apple's custom chipsets. That engineer is demanding to be fully in control of their own team and to choose which employees to bring onto the said team. Samsung is hoping that the expertise of this ex-Apple engineer will be crucial for their revival, and they're planning to make a grand comeback in 2025. Until then, all Samsung flagships will use the Snapdragon chipset worldwide. With that said, we also have some information about the Periscope zoom camera on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. You see, the main camera on the S23 Ultra is seeing an upgrade from 108 megapixels to 200 megapixels. There are a couple of 200 megapixel sensors out there from Samsung themselves, but none of them will be used in the S23 Ultra. Samsung will launch a new 200 megapixel sensor that they'll exclusively use for their own devices. So now, a lot of you may be wondering if we're gonna see an upgrade in the Periscope zoom camera as well. The answer is no. Galaxy Club, which has a great track record, reports that Samsung will use the same Periscope zoom camera setup on the S23 Ultra that they used on the S22 Ultra, which means a 10 megapixel periscope lens with 10 times optical zoom. The second zoom lens will also going to be the same, and that's a 3 times optical zoom camera. By the way, both the S23 and S23 Plus will also see the same 3 times optical zoom camera again. Of course, with that being said, do consider subscribing to keep up with all the latest content on the S23 Ultra, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.